Loading. Welcome to Access The Animus.
Have you ever found any issues trying to understand the Isu language? Have you tried even? How complicated was it? It surely was for us. But what if it was simpler? What if you could have all the tools that you need to understand the language and also to translate it immediately, ready for when the next text gets released? Well, we might just have the right thing for you. Welcome to the Isu Language Hub. The Isu Language Hub is our last huge creation here at Access The Animus. It is a whole portal organized in sections, each of them featuring a different tool, like automatic translators, number converters, grammar rules, and more, that will help you understand and translate the language while also getting the hang of how much work went into creating it. You can find the portal at www.accesstheanimus.com/isu/isulanguagehub.html. Careful about the capital letters, but before you check it out, let me show you what we have cooked up for you. The first tool we're going to show you is made up of two automatic English to Isu and Isu to English translators. And yes, I said automatic. You type the words following the provided guidelines, and if they are part of the already known vocabulary, the translators will react immediately, showing the result. For the Isu English translator, we have also provided you with a keyboard character map that shows you which key you need to type in order to use that specific letter of the Isu language in the translator. If you prefer a more traditional approach though, below each translator you'll be able to find the full dictionary of all the known words of the Isu language organized by letter. Each entry in the dictionary will have its own translation, the word type, the romanization, that is how the Isu word is written in Latin characters, an additional comment if it supports some specific rules, and all the instances where it was found. So the next time you're facing an Isu language text and you need to translate it, you know where to look. Along with the translation of the words, we also took care of the conversion of the numerals. Our Isu Language Hub contains a section fully dedicated to an automatic converter that will turn numbers from the Isu system to the decimal and hexadecimal ones and vice versa at the click of a button. As with the translators, we created a dedicated character keyboard for you to check when trying to type the numbers in the Isu language before converting them to the decimal or hexadecimal systems. The converter can also convert decimal numbers or even the Isu numbers with a separating quote-unquote comma, like the ones that we saw in the Saint Denis mystery that turned out to be coordinates. A portal of this size and with such purpose could not be built without featuring each and every Isu language officially released text, and there's so many that we had to create two main pages for them, one dedicated to the files from Valhalla's main game and Collector's Edition, and one for everything else that was released post-launch. For each file you will be able to see its official picture, and if you move the cursor over it you'll be able to see a visual translation for it, but that's not all. For new and veteran fans alike, we also added where the file can be found and how it can be unlocked, and if you scroll down, you will be able to find the transcription of the text in our Isu language font, more on that later, its romanization, which should also tell us how to pronounce it, its final translation, and even a video that we created where we explained its translation. And all of this, again, for each of the officially released text, and also for some of the sentences that the creator of the language, Antoine Henry, has produced or translated on social media when fans submitted their own translation to him. In this tab, called Antoine's Translations, you will be able to see how to translate sentences such as "nothing is true, everything is permitted," "what is love, baby don't hurt me," and "with great power comes great responsibility," of course with the proper reference to the fans that asked for them. One of the biggest sections in the Isu Language Hub is the one dedicated to all the grammar rules of the language that we were able to gather based on our research and that of many other members of the community, which isn't only aimed at helping understand the inner workings of the language, but also shows us how much work by the people that worked on the Isu script went into creating it and making it work like a real written and spoken language. Upon starting, you will immediately find a link to a quiz, where you can test your knowledge of the Isu language before looking at the rules and see where you stand. But of course, the main content of the section is made up of the rules themselves. In fact, you will be able to find a full alphabet of all the known Isu language letter characters, along with the personal pronouns as we know them, a full page dedicated to the grammatical cases, several explanations about how verbs, nouns and adjectives work, more tabs dedicated to adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions and more, and of course a page dedicated to how numbers are built and calculated in the Isu language. And once you've learned the numbers, we have even added a page where you can play some rounds of Sudoku with the Isu numbers. So if you need some chill between the quote-unquote studying lessons, that's the page for you. The Isu language is not only a proper language with its own rules and specifics, it is also a puzzle, a mystery in itself that has to be unveiled every time a new text gets released. Because of this, we have also created a page of the hub dedicated to all the videos that we have created dedicated to the language since January 2021, where we discussed and showcased how to unravel the numerous mysteries, solve the various puzzles, and translate all the sentences. But we aren't the only ones within the community that have tried to dabble with the Isu language, and thus we have created a full section pretty much dedicated to all the effort put by the community in understanding the language. It's called Miscellaneous because it contains more than that and might house even more content in the future, but it's mainly focused on 3 sections: community content, community findings, and articles. In community content, we have collected all the original content created by the community on the Isu language in the last year, along with the 2 fan-made Isu language fonts that have been created up to now, one created by Spider Mentor, which is used in his Codex Transferendum, and the other one is our very own, the same one used in the Isu Language Hub that you can use in case you'd like to practice the Isu language on your word processors while studying it on our portal. Community Findings is pretty self-explanatory. It collects posts and threads from different social media showcasing the discoveries achieved by the community, but it also contains a series of online explanations provided by the creator of the language himself, Antoine Henry. And lastly, we have Articles, which is a subsection dedicated to the articles written about the Isu language itself. And finally, of course, we couldn't forget to pay tribute on our hub to Antoine Henry, the creator of the Isu language himself, who helped building such a compelling puzzle that is still keeping fans entertained to this day after a whole year. In the page you can find a brief description of Antoine's career and how the language was created, along with the full interview that we recorded with him back in May of 2021. And that's it for the presentation of our new Isu Language Hub portal, which again you can find at www.accesstheanimus.com/isu/isulanguagehub.html. It was a labor of love that started as an internal side project and after a few months turned into a pretty big effort, but we hope it can help fans play around a bit more with the language and provide them with some tools that could be useful once the next puzzle gets released. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in our next video.